guys, welcome back to another episode of Dorbe Talks Show. This is where we talk about petty revengers on Reddit and we tell you our opinion and if we rate it from 0 to 10. And for the first story today, we'll have our super host, Phoebe.
Super host, a moment of silence to appreciate my girlfriend, how she looks today.
Thank you.
And me, as always, ready to sleep in my PJs. Okay, so our story is Snow Shoveling by Suitable Pirate. One particular winter, a blizzard had hit our area, and while the snow plowers cleared the road, they did not clear parking spaces. My family decided to shovel out snow in the freezing cold for my mother's car while neighbors did nothing. One day, as we went to the doctor's appointment, we went back, and lo and behold, our neighbor has our parking spot. We were in the cold 4 hours. After finally finding a different parking spot, for my mom, my sister, and me were pissed, but we came up with an idea. We quickly grabbed our shovels and covered both sides of the car doors. Looking out the window, my sister saw the neighbor angrier than a bull and dug their car out and left. We weren't done yet though. We grabbed our shovels again while they were gone, and since my sister knew which neighbor parked in our spot, she put a pile of snow on their door while me and my mother covered the spot back up with more snow, which was easy since our other neighbors didn't shovel their parking spot, making an even terrain, taking it about 5 minutes to cover the spot again entirely. We saw the neighbor try to get back in only to get unstuck, and find another parking spot after about 10 minutes.
Well, I don't know. I think that maybe the neighbor... I'm not sure about this one.
Babe,
what?
winter snow. Imagine you shoveled your spot.
Yeah.
And then now, it's clear, you left, and you know that when you come back, there's a spot there that is, it's not gonna be difficult for you to park in.
Yeah.
But your neighbor...
So I understand their frustration, right? Because they spent hours digging that snow and then they come back and someone took it, so they have to redo the process all over again. But the thing is that if I was as the other neighbor, I go back home, right? And it's been snowing and I get there and I see an unshoveled parking space. Would I take the unshoveled parking space or the shoveled parking space or the one that's full of snow? Of course, I'm going to take the one that's not.
I guess from my understanding,
yeah,
the neighbor has already parked and then moved his car. But it doesn't make sense because, why would you?
Yeah, why would you go out to just put yourself in because you're already unsnowing your car, right? When you...
But the thing is, the person who shared it said it was their spot, so I think it's an assigned spot.
Oh, then that changes everything. Then you become the asshole because you're deliberating, that the spot doesn't belong to you, and now you're going in there, and yeah, you're being an asshole. That if that is the case, then yes, 100% that revenge is warranted. But if it's not the case, then it's just you snooze, you lose. It's so in French we have this saying that's qui va à la chasse perd sa place. So basically, since you left, you left. It's a free for all for your space right now.
Speak to me in French, babe. No, but would you have done it?
What?
If it was your spot, you took you hours to de-snowed your spot, and then our neighbor parked in your spot. Would you also grab a shovel and then block his or her door with snow?
No. If it was my assigned spot and I come back and find someone in it, then I'm going and then I'm knocking on the door of that person, so to have them move their car for sure. But if it's not an assigned spot, then I'll be pissed. I'll be mad because I'm man, I really wanted to not do that again, but also it's a fair game in my opinion. Like I'll be pissed for sure, but I can't be mad at the other person for going to a nice spot instead of like a shitty one next door.
I think I might, like, I could be petty, I know that, but because snow is involved, cold is involved, I won't go back.
You won't lose your time in the snow.
Yeah, that is effort to me. Like, you know, I can waste my energy for some situations and be like, you know what, I want to be petty and I'll do it. But if it involves my body that grew up in an island and then go out where it just, like, you know, winter storm had just passed, I'm not doing that shit. It's okay. I'm probably gonna go in your route, which is knocking on doors.
Yeah, trying to find the person who stole your spot. And then since they knew which neighbor had stolen their spot, like they could have just gone, like, knock and be like, hey, you know that this is our assigned spot. You need to move your car. Otherwise, I'm calling the landlord, or, you know, whatever other consequence you think of. But if it's not their assigned spot, then it sucks. Like, it really sucks. Like, I feel for them, but also it's a fair game. Like, you left your spot. They came home, saw it, and took it.
But also, I'm not confrontational, so I think I would just not do anything. That's why I would.
You wouldn't do anything, even if it's your assigned spot?
No, I don't.
You wouldn't knock on their door?
No. It would, if it was summer, I would have been petty. But again, depending on the season.
But if it's summer, you don't have that problem, right? Because it doesn't.
Well, it could be anything. Like, you know, I don't know. Our neighbor would park and is occupying, I don't know, the line, or is in the line. I don't know.
Yeah. You just go and be like, hey, I can't get into my car. Like, can you move?
Yeah, that, or scratch his car with. Okay, I don't know.
Oh,
could be
okay.
Either or.
Okay. We're going there.
No, but I'm not confrontational. I know I can be petty. I don't even remember the time I was petty. Maybe when I was very young.
Oh, then you're not really, because when you're young, like, you don't really think about the consequences, and so you just do whatever. I guess everybody's more petty when they're young than when they're an adult, because now you think, okay, if I do that, what could happen to me?
Yeah. I for sure, like, when I was young, I was probably petty.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know. I just don't remember it. But, you know, as a young adult, was I? I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know. Do you think you're petty?
Right now, as an adult, no, I'm not. I'm more confrontational than petty. Like, I'll just say it on the spot and then be done with it and move on, than just waste my time in the petty revenge. But you know what? It depends on the situation. Like, if it's something that, you know, if I have nothing else to do, then yeah, sure, I can be petty. But I don't remember a time in my in my mature adulthood where I wasted my time to be petty on something instead of, like, just letting it go.
Yeah, me, I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe I have been petty lately. 5 minutes ago. I'm joking. But yeah, I don't think I am now. So, but okay, let's rank this story. Was it in the level of pettiness from 0 to very petty?
It was so it was petty.
It was petty,
it was petty. Like, you know, the reaction it caused was the neighbor got mad and he had to take time to shovel his front door, his entrance, and then his car. So for sure it was petty, but was it warranted? That is a question for me.
Yes, to them, yes.
Well,
again, like, to each his own. You know, we have our own motives on why we do XYZ.
Petty things, yeah.
Yeah, so to them, I think for them, they think they deserved, like, the neighbor deserved it. For me, I can't speak. I I don't know, I can't speak for them. I would personally not do it just because of who I am. Like, I'm not, one, I'm not confrontational. Second, again, because it's winter and it's cold, I won't do it myself. But yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So, rating it from 0 to 10, which 10 is very petty, I'd say it's a 7 or 6 even. Like, it's
That's fair, yeah.
it's something that you would expect people who are petty to do that.
Yeah. Okay,
Like, it's not in a, you have like petty and then vindictive. It wasn't vindictive. It was just petty. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think I would agree. Like, it's a 7 on the terms of on the scale of like pettiness. If they wanted to go the extra mile, they could have completely covered the car in snow. But that's just being over. Oh, that would be like a 10 for me. But yeah, it's a 7. But also, was it warranted for me? Meh. Like, if it's their spot, like their assigned spot, then sure, you can be petty if you want to. But also, it would have been way faster for you to knock on that neighbor's door and be like, hey, can you move your car? You're in my spot. And if it's not their assigned spot, then so sorry for you. But it's not warranted.
Okay, so 7 as well for you, yeah?
Yeah, it's a 7.
Okay, so we move on to the next story from
Alright.
Reddit. Doran's gonna be going through it.
All right, so for the second story, we have Petty Corporate Email by you/the Mothman probably. So, at work, there are currently 4 of us that do the same job, all on different shifts. One girl sends an excessive amount of emails. It becomes a topic of a conversation with everyone else that works in our office, and we're all sick of getting her emails. People have talked about asking her supervisor to limit how many she can send a day. The rest of us can go on days without needing to send an email. She routinely sends more than 5 a day. Generally, her emails are clarifying things that she would know if she had paid attention earlier, or complaining about someone not doing the most minuscule part of our job. It's important to note that she's on the second shift, so she has an abundance of free time that those on day shift don't have. So second shift, I believe, means that she's on the night shift. So she also likes to include far too many people on these emails. She includes managers, supervisors, people from other shifts, and people who have absolutely nothing to do with the situation. So a while back, she sent an email to 3 other people who do our job. 2 managers, a supervisor, and a person from a different department, just to say that another employee on my shift forgot to do something. The thing is that people on her shift constantly forget the same thing, and I have to spend the first 20 minutes of my day unfucking things that they fucked up. I always just fix it myself and leave her posted so she can tell the employee. This particular day, I was beyond done with her, so I hit reply to all her email and listed the 5 or 6 things that got fucked up or forgotten on her shift the night before. She never replied.
Yeah, she should see that coming. Like, if you are complaining about a person, about like, this person is doing XYZ, she is bound to reply and be like, hey, you know what? Because now we're counting what you think I don't do, then these are the things that you messed up during your shift and I have to fix it.
Yeah, like I don't like these kind of people where they would see you do mistakes, but instead of like confronting you directly and be like, hey, you forgot to do this, can you next time be more careful, they'll show it to everybody. Like, they'll showcase your mistake to everybody, and I guess it's satisfying for them to belittle you in that way. But yeah, she got her she got what was coming from her for her.
Yeah, I hate people like those.
Yeah.
And especially if one of her email is clarifying, like, hey, I just want to clarify, is this what you meant earlier this morning? Like, yes. Like, she even wrote that, one of the emails is like, if she just had paid attention, we wouldn't have gotten that email.
Yeah. And then even on that, like you would reply because there's like being petty in the corporate emails, like a way of phrasing things, and then you'll be like, as per my last email, blah 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 blah. Basically meaning, bitch, if you paid attention, you would have known, and we would not have this exchange right now.
Yeah, it's not even like I wouldn't call that type of phrasing as being petty, but passive aggressive.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, pettiness is kind of being passive aggressive because you're not, talking to the person directly or confronting them directly. You're just doing small things that would irk them, but without them knowing. Or anyways, yeah, it is passive aggressive, and I love it. I love it. I love it because some people at work need to be humbled because they, especially the ones that are striving to increase their rank, like they're striving to get a promotion or a better position at work, like they'll go through the pettiest or like the sneakiest way of belittling you, and it's so annoying because you're like, we're all here to do our job, like we can all be great, and the best will be chosen fairly, or you can be petty and sneaky and do bad things, and you can be rewarded because the boss don't see what you're doing behind the scenes, or they will end you. And especially if I was the supervisor being CC'd in like an email that I have nothing to do with, I would be pissed. And I think I would have sent an email like a long time ago saying, hey, do not ever CC me again in these emails. Honestly, because imagine you receive, like, as a manager, you receive like tons of emails per day, right? Just for the things that you need to do, reminders, or people asking you questions, and then you have this like little person, not a little person, but this person like sending you tons of emails per day that have nothing to do with you, and then you have to sort through these emails, read them, and be like, okay, I don't need that X, I don't need that X. Like, do you know how long it takes to read your emails? Like when I had work from home job last year, like I was coordinating, so I was receiving tons of email per day, and it took me, like, at the beginning of my day, it took me maybe 10 to 15 minutes to sort through all my emails, and then I would start working, and then throughout the day I would get emails, reply, and have conversations and stuff. But like, that's a long time that you spend on typing replies for people who need something, and sometimes it's very important, but sometimes you don't need to be there. It's like useless meetings that you're attending. Anyway, sorry. That was my corporate rant.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so that was her 3 minutes rant. Filipinos would define that or identify that as may pinaghuhugutan.
What was that? What was that?
It's like your all these feelings that you're expressing is coming somewhere like deep.
It did. Like,
yes,
when I read it, I it took me back to a time where I was receiving a lot of emails, and that would take time out of my day, and yeah, it just something in me moved when I read this post.
Yeah, that was something like, to me, that post or that story, it was, it was petty, but I didn't see it as like super petty.
No, it was.
But after you expressing your thoughts on the post and the story, I was like, okay, I now understand why you picked that story.
Because it's relatable. Like, everybody who has that kind of job where they're CC'd on a lot of emails that are useless, they get irked. They
that is
need
true.
to be there. But do you get these kind of emails?
I do, but it's important emails that I need to be updated.
Oh,
nothing.
So it's not like something useless that you don't need to be. I don't think anybody would dare to CC you on something useless, anyways.
Yeah, I do know that at one point that was happening. Like, we were tagging people who aren't supposed to be tagged, and we had like a meeting about like, just being conscious with people's time.
Oh, that's good.
But we said it very, it's very politely. But yeah, I was like, be conscious of people's time. If they're not the one who can help you with it, don't send it to them. Like, you're
Oh my God, that's so good. So your company culture is only the important stuff or the people that are relevant should be emailed or CC'd in. Wow,
That's
that's so good.
that should be standard.
That should be standard because I don't know why. Like a lot of people, they're quick to CC a manager or they're quick to CC a supervisor when they're sending an email, and especially if it's something like a mistake. If it's a big mistake, then yeah, for sure. Like you CC the supervisor or the manager of that person because that's a mistake that should never ever have happened in the first place and should never happen again. But if it's like a small thing, that can be easily that doesn't have a lot of consequences and can be easily fixed, then do not CC their supervisor because one, you're wasting the supervisor's time by making them read that. Two, you're making them look very bad for something that's very small. And like, what are you trying to achieve there? Like, why are you CCing them?
And another 2-minute rant from Miss Dorian Domingo. So I guess you would rate that at 10. I would have rated that at like 4
well, no,
or 6.
No, in terms of pettiness, it wasn't that bad. It was like a 3.
Yeah. I went from 4, looked at her, okay, she might punch me during my sleep, up it at 6. But yeah, I think for this post, and also I just want to add on with how when you were being sarcastic about like, yeah, that should be a standard. You should only CC people who.
No, I wasn't sarcastic. I was truthfully, like from the bottom of my heart, I think that. Really?
But that should be a standard to
It should.
every company that you're in, you're
Yes.
working with. But yeah, there's one like just recently I had a conversation with one of my team member, and basically the line of communication is 4 people, or like two people, 3 people before whatever is happening gets to me. So like I was just having like a chat with this person, and then this person just goes, yeah, I had these issues, and the person involved, which was my peers, we had a conversation about it, and because it wasn't resolved, we included the team lead, and because it wasn't resolved, we included that, and I never even heard about that, and it was like a long time ago, and I was like, I really appreciate that you are aware of the line of communication, that it didn't had to go straight to me. So
Yeah.
that was something that like I really appreciate to the team. And when that happened, which it did happen few months ago, where they would like complain from here to like manager right away, we do let them know like, hey, you know what, like we love listening to you guys, but we're doing a lot of things, and it's going to help your team improve that relationship. When you work it out with the person involved, doesn't get resolved, your team lead is there, doesn't get resolved, like you have this people who's going to be joining in that conversation if needed, if it's not resolved. So we do tell them like, guys, thank you for CCing us, we appreciate it, we've heard you, we love it, but we're doing X, Y, and Z here, so if you guys can take care of it. So we're very straightforward and candid about it.
Damn.
But
That's good.
yeah, that is it for just ranking the story 3, 4,
Yep.
and goodbye.
Wow. Okay. So thank you guys for listening, tuning in, and appreciating our commentaries, hopefully. If you have anything to add or have an opinion about it, just don't forget to comment below. Also, please like, share, subscribe, share it to your grandmother, your mama, your family, your friends, the Pope, everybody. And if you have stories for us, please don't forget to either put it down below or email us. Thank you very much. Thank you for tuning. See ya next time. Bye bye.
See you. Bye.